Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to our channel, the Eaton Squad. My name is Addie. So for today's video is the updated entry requirements for Filipinos and dual citizens going to the Philippines. Details coming right up. So as promised, this is part 2 of that video that I am doing for the updated entry requirements. These are the travel documents that the Philippine government require to all permitted travelers to the Philippines. We already did part 1. That is for foreign nationals and former Filipinos. For this video, we are doing the Filipino citizens and dual citizens. I will be showing you guys who are under the category of a Filipino citizen and who are the dual citizens. And I will also be showing you guys the travel documents, the must-have travel documents if you are flying as a Filipino citizen and if you are flying as a dual citizen. So let's get started. So must-have travel documents, entry requirements for Filipino citizens and dual citizens. What are the categories under the Filipino citizens? So there are 3. There's actually 2 if you want to be technical about it. These are the green card holders or the permanent resident and the dual citizens. But first, we are going to discuss, or I am going to show you guys the travel documents for green card holders and permanent residents of a particular country. For green card or permanent resident travel document requirements, you need the following. Philippine passport, of course, but please take note, for those Filipinos who are currently abroad may travel back to the Philippines even if their passports are less than 6 months. So remember guys, the 6 months rule. But for Philippine passport holder, you can travel even if you have less than 6 months validity left in your Philippine passport. Granted that this is a direct flight to the Philippines, because some countries, some Asian countries, if you have layovers or transit, you might get in trouble with it. So just to be sure, call the airline if they accept your Philippine passport, since you are headed to the Philippines anyway. This is if you have layovers, for example, in Hong Kong, Singapore, Japan. Call the airline if it doesn't affect your passport validity, which is 6 months if you have layovers in Asian countries. So please confirm that. But if it's a direct flight, especially when you're flying with Philippine Airlines, they know that rule already, that you guys can still board if you are a Philippine passport holder who are currently abroad and traveling back to the Philippines with less than 6 months validity on your passport. Next requirement is green card. This is the 2-year green card or the permanent resident card. These are the same, or the 10-year green card. You can show the 2-year green card or the 10-year green card. This is in the States. I don't know how the other countries are doing, or what's the system of other countries when it comes to green card or permanent resident card. Please take note that foreign nationals traveling with the Filipino wife, you guys don't need to secure a visa to enter the Philippines. Bring your marriage certificate. Yes, that is true. If you guys are traveling with your Filipino wife as a foreign national, you don't need to secure a visa anymore. Just make sure that you bring your authentic marriage certificate or apostilled marriage certificate, PSA issued marriage certificate, because that will be needed by airlines or during immigration process in the Philippines. So now let's proceed to the dual citizens category. Who are the dual citizens and what are the travel documents that a dual citizen need to prepare to travel back to the Philippines? So who are the dual citizens? They are natural-born citizens of the Philippines who have become citizens of another country by reason of naturalization, have retained or reacquired their Philippine citizenship by taking an oath of allegiance to the Republic of the Philippines before a Philippine consulate officer. So in short, for example, you are a Filipino, you went to the US, you have naturalized in the US, you became a US citizen, and you have applied for your dual citizenship. Just like me, I am a dual citizen of the United States and the Philippines. When I left the Philippines, I am a Filipino citizen. I left the Philippines as a K1 visa. Then, when I got to the US, we applied for my 2-year green card, 10-year green card. I have naturalized as a US citizen, but I have applied for the reacquisition of my Philippine citizenship. So now I carry 2 passports. That's the US passport and the Philippine passport. So that is the short explanation of dual citizen. So what are the documents that you need to prepare if you travel back to the Philippines during the pandemic? Dual citizens travel documents requirements option number 1. You actually have 2 options. So let's talk about option number 1. For option number 1 is your foreign passport. Passport must be valid for at least 6 months from the date of departure. Then your dual citizen documents. These are the identification certificate, the oath of allegiance, and the petition for the issuance of a certificate of retention or reacquisition. So let me explain this a little bit, because when you become a dual citizen, I highly suggest that you apply for your Philippine passport. The Philippine passport that you already have when you became a dual citizen, that becomes null and void when you have naturalized. I hope I did not confuse you guys on that. Even if that particular passport is still valid, it's not expired, you can't use it anymore because, like I said, it becomes null and void when you became a naturalized citizen of a particular country. You will have to apply for a new Philippine passport when you became a dual citizen. If you decide to become a dual citizen, you applied for the dual citizenship application, you got approved, you did your oath taking, you will have to apply for a new passport for it. Don't use your old passport when you have naturalized, because that is committing fraud. Because like I said, that passport is no longer valid when you became a naturalized citizen of a particular country. You have to have a new Philippine passport that you can use. If you have not applied for the Philippine passport, this is option number 1. You can use the dual citizenship documents. These are the documents given to you when you did your oath taking in one of the Philippine consulates in your area. So, in lieu of the Philippine passport, if you haven't applied for a Philippine passport yet, because it is so hard to get a slot when applying for a Philippine passport, you can still travel to the Philippines with your foreign passport and your dual citizen documents. Our option number 2, for dual citizen travel documents requirements, for option number 2 is your foreign passport. Of course, this has to be valid for at least 6 months from the date of departure. Then your Philippine passport. This Philippine passport is acquired after getting your dual citizenship. This is what I was explaining earlier. Filipinos who are currently abroad may travel back to the Philippines even if their passport are less than 6 months valid. So that statement applies to those who have already applied for dual citizenship, who have already applied for their Philippine passport but have not traveled back to the Philippines. And when they decide they are going back to the Philippines, their Philippine passport is less than 6 months, you guys can still travel to the Philippines. And for this category, dual citizens, if you guys are flying with your foreign husbands, or you are flying as a family, your husband and your kids don't need to secure visas to be allowed entry into the Philippines. Just make sure that you have your authentic marriage certificate with you and the birth certificate of your kids respectively. So I hope we have covered this category very well. We have covered the travel documents that you guys need when flying back to the Philippines, this time during the time of the pandemic. Again, this video is for entry requirements of Filipino citizens and dual citizens traveling back to the Philippines. If I missed something, or if you guys have traveled back to the Philippines as a Filipino citizen or a dual citizen, if I miss a document, please comment it down below so we can use it as reference to our subscribers. You might wonder that OFWs were not mentioned on the video. OFWs are one of the Filipino citizens category as well. But the focus of this guide are for non-OFWs, because I don't really know much on the requirements for OFWs. I know you guys have certificates or entry or exit certificate that you guys need to process when you go back to the Philippines. So I will leave that to those travel update vloggers. I can recommend one. It's Kahuan TV. He does particularly for OFWs. So if you guys have inquiries with regards to OFWs, he's the go-to person. So like I said, OFWs are also one of the categories of Filipino citizens. This is our quick update for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, concerns, or inquiries with regards to this video or in any of our travel related videos, please comment it down below and I will get back to you guys as soon as I can. Or you can direct message me in our Facebook page or Instagram, same handle, the Eaton Squad. Again, thank you guys so much for the continued support and trust to our channel. We are growing and I really appreciate you guys' support to our channel. I hope to see you guys in our next travel update. Stay safe, stay healthy, and God bless everyone. Bye.